Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing extremely well today. Sorry guys, a little bit late today. Sort of spent my afternoon with my in-laws, so it was great to be out for a while. I was hoping to be back a little bit earlier. Hope I can catch some of you now. We'll probably be streaming for about an hour or so. So we're going to be taking a look at the usual market. We've had a very interesting day today in regards to the precious metals market. We've had silver go up to a fantastic level before retreating. Bitcoin, nice joke. And then we've also had gold as well, and pretty much all the precious metals. You got platinum, you got silver, you've got gold as well. They've all done the exact same thing. So we're going to be taking a look at that. More than likely, it's going to be profit taking. That's just happened. But yeah, there's wicks, man. Check the size of that wick in the last during the course of the day. So we're going to have a look at silver first, and of course we'll also take a look at Bitcoin and Litecoin. There isn't really much news out there, so I've got two articles that I'm just going to brush up in regards to what's happened today. So nothing new to talk about. But there we go. Silver pretty much 1750 it hit before there was a massive sell-off, as you guys can see. What's interesting enough, though, is that we came back and we're still settling around the 1697 mark. So we're still above our initial breakout or our initial resistance, which is now support, of course. So there was a heavy crash all the way down to, what was that, 1654. So there was a substantial sell-off today, guys. Almost about $1 worth of retreatment. It's about 96 cents that the amount actually fell down. So quite substantial indeed. Yeah, but I mean, looking at the day, we're going to be having a look at the next hour. We're going to have a look at how those hours transgressed. If you have a look, it was about 3-4 hours ago. We hit that point here, and then we started to see, obviously the bulls just got extremely tired. I mean, they'd pretty much been overworking the whole day, and then we get this massive retracement, like literally we crashed right through support after support, which is interesting. So now we're still back above this resistance level, which is now support. As you can see, we broke through it here, and that was yesterday. So we're effectively almost back in the same position again. I think I said to you guys yesterday, I was really hoping to not see any more 16s, but now we're back in the 16 territory. So for 1695, we've come back quite a bit as well. Even in the last hour, we dropped as low as where are we? 1689. So at least we're back in it. It's down but not out. If you look at that, massive profit taking, and that's what I've always said to everybody out there. I've said, guys, buy the dip. I mean, there's a perfect example of buying the dip. Sorry, there's a wrong screen there. There we go. There's a perfect example of buying the dip. Okay, we've got two watching in a minute, so let's take a look through. Jody Rhodes, I did with gold. Sucker for Silver says, imagine you could have bought that bottom. I know exactly how you feel, but personally, I was actually surprised. I only checked the last hour or so. As soon as I got back, I had a look, and we were, floundering at about the 1690 levels. Oh, geez, what the heck happened? It looked like we were heading up to higher highs, but we didn't quite get there. Sucker for Silver, obviously talking, wow, there's wicks on silver, crazy, man. And of course, Jody there with Bitcoin. I told you guys yesterday in regards to Bitcoin, I didn't see it being, there's no way it would have sustained the level that it is based on the volume. And it's exactly what I expected it to happen, was to start falling down. Now, essentially, I think I'd said to you guys yesterday in regards to Bitcoin that I was going to buy in at a certain level. It's Alan G, man. How you doing? It's good to see you. I'm just outside here in the yard here. We got the horses right in front of me. You probably hear there's a lot more nature sounds going on behind me. I thought I'd film outside here or record. So yeah, there we go. That's Italian G, says working and listening. Fantastic. Thanks, man. I'm on a little bit later, so more than likely not the same volume of people are going to be around, but who knows. Jody says he bought gold at the dip, so good man indeed. Awesome. Well, congratulations, man. I'm still waiting for those higher silver prices. Certainly because I'm consolidating some of my silver and I want to invest in graded coins. So I'm thinking of putting some of my silver up for sale. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. Once I get to a nice certain level, I'll be able to offload and hopefully look at getting some graded coins, but that's a chat for another time anyway. Let's take a look at the next screen. So obviously, in regards to silver, that's where we are now. Massive bottom there at 650, guys. Jeez, like we literally, we fell. I mean, it's like the floor gave way or something. We were just like from level to level to level. We had our support level at this level broken through. You can hear the horses there running in the background. We had our next 50-day moving average support level broken. Our 100-day support level broken. Our support level, which is our ascending support level, broken. Then we had our support level, ascending support level at the bottom here, broken. And then we had our 200-day moving average broken. And then we even broke through our even lower support level, which carried on through from weeks ago. And we've also broken through that. However, obviously, once that candle had expired, we sort of pushed back up again, straight through, back up through these 3 resistance levels, and now we're back above where we were yesterday. We basically finished off similar to where we were yesterday. I know we were a little bit higher, but if you look at where the ascending support line is, we're basically sitting back above where we were practically in a day ago, which is such a shame because we had so much potential here. And unfortunately, there was a massive sell-off in pretty much across of all the metals, because even you had gold at 1,535 before it traced down, and we're going to be taking a look at gold next. So let's take a look. There we go. Italian G just confirming he's at work today. Well, thanks very much, Italian G. Really appreciate having you here. So we're going to take a look at gold now. Let's go share screen. And where are we? Silver. There it is. Let's do gold. I'll just wait a few seconds there and then we can take a look. This is gold on the daily. So again, you also have the same wick on both sides. So again, we're sitting here in the middle. We're just above our support line for gold. So again, we're tracking pretty well there. And then also we're well above this support line, but we're going to take a look at the hour. We're not doing too badly, guys, for gold. We're still looking pretty hot. I mean, imagine that we were at $1,535 an ounce for gold. And I even said to a buddy of mine, I was like, geez, man, gold's up $23, man. I said, you're already in the money. And then of course it corrected. And I mean, look at the correction we had. Low down, it went as low as $1,480. And again, it did a very similar thing. So we're going to have a look at the hourly and see where we go from there. So also, look, I mean, we're still very bullish. We set higher highs and we set lower lows. So this is on the hour. Obviously, there's a massive volume sell-off there, 179,712 volume down. And then there we go. So initially on that other candle there at about 12 o'clock, we sort of broke through resistance, however, came back up. Broke through support, but we essentially were still strong enough to maintain it. So we went straight back up again. But unfortunately, we came back down on the next one. And again, we did a similar thing. So our 20-day moving average broken. We had our 50-day moving average broken. Then we had our ascending line here, ascending support line broken. As well, setting support line broken. And then we had our 100-day moving average broken. And funny enough, the 200-day moving average, even though it was broken, it was still strong enough to hold it above. So even though we went a little bit less, we still maintained it moving up. And then we had another green candle there. So pretty much it's silver. It did pretty much exactly the same. But the difference here as well is we're tracking above our 100 moving average now, is acting like support. So it'll be enough to build up and start moving back up again. So we're still in this ascending channel. We're going to have another breakout to break ourselves out of this channel. So hopefully when we break out, we're going to break out to the upside if all goes well. Let's check things. Here we go. Jody says, good sign. A new range. Yeah, exactly. Well, we're back in that range, Jody. So it's not like, but it's not a lower range. We're still in the ascending wedge, if you can call it that. Let's see what we've got 2 watching at the minute. Hopefully we can get a few more people in. So looking at gold there, we're still in this ascending wedge. It's still at the top second, so we're still looking pretty good to prime to break up higher again. And we've pretty much got to try and keep ourselves above this $1,500 level. Silver as well needs to try and get ourselves, maintain it. Well, look, we still got some time before the close of the day that we can maintain above the $17 level. Let's take a look at platinum as well. Platinum also had a very interesting time. It also had the same level of sell-off. Platinum currently tracking at $854 an ounce. Right, so again, we're still at the ascending line. So even though we had a breakout, we've sort of worked our way back in now. However, we are looking very good, which is not the same in regards to silver and gold. I'd say is because we've hit this 20-day moving average, and like I've always said, whenever we're flying above our 20-day moving averages, we're looking pretty hot. So if you have a look here, we're well above our 20-day. We've sort of come back under it. We're now back above it. And look at where we're sitting, guys. We're sitting right on the 20-day moving average. If we can just maintain this, maybe do a little bit of sideways and start slowly working ourselves back up again, we're seriously in oversold territory at the minute with pretty much all the metals based on where we came from. So there's excellent potential for us to move up. So we can move up fairly quickly. So I'm gonna have to watch the candles for the next few hours before we close. But it's still looking pretty good. I'm quite happy with regards to the way that looks. We've got Sucker for Silver. Hey man, Sucker for Silver says the pop-ups for lows is a bullish sign. Absolutely, I don't disagree there. We've got Stephen Heath as well. Good evening, Silver Limey. We got 100%. There's a lot more interest, and we got Will Stalker as well. Fantastic, you made it. Awesome, buddy. Jody's having a good laugh there. Hey, blended whiskey, man, great. I'm glad you guys made it. Sorry, apologies that I was a little bit late. I was out during the course of the day. I took my in-laws out for the afternoon, so we only got back probably about 45 minutes ago. And then I had a look at the price action that we saw today, which was pretty hectic. I don't think I've seen that sort of range-bound price action that we're looking at this on the screen here, but platinum looks really good, guys. If I look at both silver and gold, both silver and gold are sitting below their 20-day moving averages, where if you have a look at platinum there, we're sitting right on the 20-day moving average, guys. I think that's quite an excellent move. We've come up quite a bit, though. You can see there our 200-day moving average. We sort of hit that. It's now acted as support. We bounced off it nicely. It looks like we more than likely didn't actually break through. We've then come up here, and then we're back into, come back through our 100-day, our 50-day, and now we're sitting just above that. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. That could be a super move there for platinum based on this support line. If the support line is not broken, we're definitely going to see higher highs. Whereas obviously gold and silver require a lot more work for us to start seeing higher highs. And there we go. We can see it there. Hopefully we can start seeing some green positive candle movement there. Bit of sideways consolidation, maybe a little bit more consolidation before we start seeing silver go up. But there you go. It's already it's already silver's starting to put pressure to start moving up. I'm going to show you guys the screen shortly. We'll definitely take a look at that. Blended Whiskey just saying hello to myself there. Thank you very much, Blended Whiskey. I hope all is well on your side. He says, yeah, I made it, but falling asleep. I'm sure it's getting too late for you, man. Yeah, there we go, 2 a.m. Why are you late? Sorry, I explained earlier my in-laws are over. So we went out and we spent the day in a place called Clonmacnoise and Shannon Bridge. If you guys want to check that out, I was going to do a little video there, but the weather wasn't great and it was pretty much raining. There you go. But World Stalker's forgiven me there, thankfully. So all is okay. We got up to 8 in the live stream. So again, thank you to my listeners and my viewers. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on this one. Let's take a look at Palladium quickly. So I'll bring up that screen now. Palladium. Right, Palladium 1453. Interesting enough, Palladium's had a completely different move to the other three metals, both platinum, gold, and silver. They both reacted the same. However, platinum has sort of held its composure a lot better. So even though there was a bit of a sell-off, if we have a look at the day's high, was 1463. We're currently at 1453. Sorry. Yeah, 1463, and the low was 1422. So quite a tight range bound there for Palladium, but hell, we've got an awesome candle there, considering where we were. We ended the day, the day's open was 1430, so we're $22 up on the day for Palladium, which I think is a great move. Let's have a look at the hourly and see how we're tracking. How are we tracking? Oh, look at that. We broke on through straight up there, straight above our 20-day moving average. Oh, we even broke our 200-day moving average. So we're way into a bullish potential here. A nice bullish move there for Palladium, straight up. And we're going to watch these candles. Obviously, a bit of selling pressure now that we broke through. But we're nowhere near its higher highs that we've seen. So Palladium still got a bit of a mission to get through there. However, we might see some movements here and then some further, bit of sideways action and then a bit more of a upward movement. So we're definitely keep an eye on Palladium. Let's have a look. There, Martin Hutchings. Hey, Martin, how you doing? He says, hey, so are you in Ireland? I am in Ireland, Martin. Thank you very much for asking. Woolstalk says, I'm passing out, so get Bitcoin to 10K, please. Nice. Cheers, Will Stalker. Yeah, we're going to talk about Bitcoin in a sec because it's a very interesting one. And as we were talking about yesterday, I still have a good feeling that we're going to be seeing lower lows for Bitcoin, and we'll be discussing that shortly. So all the best, Will Stalker. I'm sure we'll chat again. Blender just saying hello there to Martin. Right. Okay. So Palladium, interesting. It's in a bullish potential there. Nice bull pennant. We're going to be looking at, let's see, we've had a look at silver, gold, and platinum so far. We're going to take a look at this. This is from Reuters. So I'm going to put up on the screen now. You'll see this report. This was done earlier in the day. However, it is sort of relevant to what we're talking about. There wasn't much coverage in regards to the dip in the market. So here we go. This is what they suspected the news to be. So if you guys can see it there. Yeah, it says precious, obviously precious metal. So it's a precious gold sheds 2% on signs of a US-China trade thaw. It says US and China agree to continue trade talks. Silver falls 0.5%. Palladium gains 0.2%. So Palladium was the clear winner today. Dollar index rises 0.4%. And then we've also got gold. Obviously, gold fell 2% on Tuesday, reversing the course from earlier in a session when it scaled a 6-year peak after the United States said it would delay tariffs on some China. After it would delay tariffs on some Chinese products, and on the news that both sides agreed to trade talks. Spot gold was down 0.7% at $1,500 per ounce. Having hit a highest level since April 2013 of 1,534. Then we've got US gold futures were down 0.3% to 1512. The office of the US Trade Representative said that Trump's administration will delay 10% tariffs on certain Chinese products, including laptops, cell phones, and that have been scheduled for the start of next month. Obviously, that's quite, let's say that's probably their main export is laptops and cell phones. So interesting how he's targeted those. A thawing, perhaps consideration of the new proposed tariffs have drained the heat from gold's rally for now. I don't think it has drained the heat. I really don't think so, said this guy here. I mean, obviously, maybe he knows more than I do. This is Tai Wang, head of base precious metals and derivatives trading. Considering that the amount of news out there for precious metals is bullish without a doubt. I mean, considering the state of the global economy, various impacts, the China trade war. So, I doubt it. I think as well, people wanted to take profits. Who wouldn't take profits, guys, if silver was at 1750? I mean, you'd have to be an idiot. I mean, I don't mean it like that from an electronic traded fund perspective, not not holding metals because it's a little bit harder to get rid of. But effectively, if you're doing ETFs and you're constantly trading, who would not sell at 1750 to take the dip and then of course wait for the dip all the way down? Because I mean, I would not have expected silver to react that fast to hit 1750. Even I was pretty amazed. And for me, I was like, yeah, we could see a sell-off here because we just went up too high so quickly. Yeah, Martin says, hello, everybody. Hope all is well. This is truly exciting time in the world of finance. It certainly is, Martin. So it says, while this does not dramatically dim the overall positive outlook for gold, it will temper its momentum in the short term. I don't think it's going to temper it that much. But again, he might only see it from a trade value, stock value perspective. It says US stocks turned positive and dollar rose on the news, with further momentum also coming from the news that both sides had agreed to conduct phone calls on trade again in 2 weeks. Okay, well, we still got 2 weeks. A lot can happen in 2 weeks. Gold will be trading in a defensive position until the next 2 weeks. There will be some buying at the dips, so who wouldn't again? So again, buy the dips. But the explosive moves higher we've seen in the last 2 weeks is not expected with these trade talks hanging over the market. Yeah, okay, if whatever you say, Bob. He says that's Bob Habercorn, senior market strategist at RJO Futures. I'm certainly not saying I know everything in the market, but I think this are the fundamentals there. Gold's rise to over 6 year, Gold's rise to over 6 year highs early in the day was triggered by a rout in the Argentina peso and protesters clashing with police at the Hong Kong International Airport after flights were disrupted for a second day. So again, he's diverting attention. He says now it's stifled because of the China trade issues. And then all of a sudden it's its rise was triggered by this and this, but then it's because of this that there was a sell-off. I don't know. It doesn't sound that. To me, it doesn't sound too convincing. Market focus is now on the U.S. Federal Reserve's annual symposium next week for clues on the future trajectory of interest rates. Traders see a 91.2% chance of a 25 basis point cut by the U.S. bank in September. Meanwhile, holdings in the world's largest gold-backed exchange-traded fund, the SPDR, and that's the gold trust, jumped by 0.9%. Obviously, and then they talk about the other metals. So again, it's sort of a mixed. It sounds like he's unsure of exactly what's causing what, but that's at least that's his opinion, and you can't take that away from him. And that is Smita Layak Arpan Varghese. And that's from Reuters.com. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Right, Bitcoin, guys. What do you think about Bitcoin right now? Again, we've just been seeing these breakdowns. Breakdown 1, breakdown 2. Again, if we look at previous patterns, again, and I've always said this in regards to the way the market is currently, I still think there's too much money in Bitcoin that's been stripped out of the alts currently at the minute. So there's not enough there to stimulate higher prices for Bitcoin. And I've said this consistently, and clearly that is the case, because even I don't think I'm wrong in that. And I've said this as comments on various other YouTube channels. They're all talking about the bullish case. No one is talking about the bearish case, because who wouldn't? Especially when you want views and you want more and more people watching your videos. Of course, you're going to say, "Yeah, Bitcoin at 40,000," or I posted the Goldman Sachs positive news on Bitcoin. Which I posted yesterday. Then more and more channels got that news. So yes, there are positive fundamentals there, but there is still no institutional money coming in on a regular basis to see us push up higher. So for me, this is definitely going to be a bearish outlook. To what extent? I mean, I've wanted to buy in at 10.8. That's based on it being bullish, but we're now starting to fall into a bearish divergence. So again, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. Martin Hutchings says, were you aware there is a Danish bank offering mortgages at 0.5 negative interest rate? Yeah, that's correct, Martin. I did a live stream a few days ago. I mentioned that effectively there's a Danish bank there that's paying you to take money. But yes, I was aware of that 100%. But thanks for bringing that up as well. Martin, he says basically paying people to borrow money to buy a home. That is absolutely correct. So again, in regards to Bitcoin, I'd be very cautious here trying to get in. I've been waiting, since we were stuck at, once we had, I didn't even get in at this level because everyone was expecting the higher high. All the YouTube channels out there all going, yeah, Bitcoin's up. We're going to see 14 grand. We're going to see 15K. And of course, that didn't happen. We had the breakdown again. People were trying to maintain that positive news. Yep, we're going, based on Goldman Sachs, blah, blah, blah. I still didn't buy it based on this down here. Now, I've always said this. I've said, look at the volume that is down here. We just don't have the same volume that we had when we first had our first run up. When we had our first run up as well, we were doing double the volume that we're seeing right now. We were averaging at about $100 billion a day in volume when we were up here. And the key thing that I've said about this before is, even though we did 100 billion in volume, people still kept their money in the alts. When I mean alts, I'm talking Ethereum, Litecoin, anything which is other than Bitcoin. So they still kept their money in that, and of course everyone was winning. But now, it's pretty much since about this move here, where we've had this gradual sort of move up, people have been selling their altcoins to try and inflate Bitcoin to the level that we're currently seeing at the minute, hoping that the institutions are going to be seeing this little. To me, I suppose institutions could see it as a bear flag, because if they're not putting the money in, then the retail market is putting the money in. Why would they want to come in at this level and make all the retail investors rich when themselves? Why would they want to buy high? Nobody buys high. Institutions do not buy high. So when they see this, the first thing they're going to look at is, where is the support in a bearish move? So let's take a look at this level here. So they might see it like this. And they might see it like this. Sorry, let me close that off. They might see it like that. Something like that. They might see it now falling into this channel where we could, go as low as what, 7.5, 7 grand, 8 grand if you have a look at the 200-day moving average, because obviously the 200-day moving average is slowly moving up. Some are saying 7.5, 8 grand. We might find ourselves sitting in this maneuver until we get to a level where institutions are going to be smart enough to actually put the money on the table. So until we see that, they're just not going to put money in. And basically they're taking investors, the usual retail investor, for fools, because everyone is wanting to get rich. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to get rich quick. But, follow the smart money, guys. There's no point putting money in here. And I mean, this is, some of the channels in regards, they're just saying, hey, the volume's in, blah, blah, blah. But then when I have a look at the volume, I don't see the volume, because when we're in this channel here up to before we had that dump of 14,000, our volume was running up at about 100,000. And we're going to take a look at the coin market cap in a minute, and I can show you guys. So there we go, 10,843 for Bitcoin currently. There we go. You can see its gradual decline. It's almost like they've been really careful. And again, this is not something that you'd see with institutional. Institutional would just drop the ball. So again, we can see it here. We started to see the curve here. Again, another thing to note about Bitcoin on the hourly, we're still under the 20-day moving average, guys. And what happens when we're under the 20-day moving average? We're in a bearish scenario. Because if you have a look at all the movement, whenever we've been under, it's always been bearish. So again, we need to clear those averages, and then we're going to be back into bullish momentum. Is this, let's see, I went down as low as 10,750. I still, I'm just going to keep an eye on this. If there's still no volume here, then that means that the institutions will still not come in, and they're waiting for lower prices yet again. So guys, rather be cautious with this. Don't just rush in and go, yeah, it's a perfect time to buy in now. Wait for confirmations, because again, you might buy in now, and of course there's another sell-off back down. So then all of a sudden you bought at 10.8, then all of a sudden we're sitting at 10.4, 10.5. Also, think about some of the drops that some of Bitcoin drops. this is pretty usual. That was another thing I was looking at, which we're going to take another look at in a sec. Metal Bum, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Good perspective on smart money moves. Exactly, man. Follow the smart money. What is your short-term low for Bitcoin? Well, again, it's difficult to say, Metal Bum, in this market here, because things can change on a dime, on the flip of a coin. However, it's but I've said this again, is we're in this trend because of the retail investors. The retail investors have stuffed this up really badly. We're just constantly pumping money into Bitcoin and hoping that the institutional monies, they're going to see the spikes. These guys aren't dumb. Like, I mean, they pay people, they pay traders to do this, and everyone is waiting for it to dump because the institutions are not in. So that means the retail guys are not in. And what happens when the retailers get tired? And that's another reason why we're sitting in this trough right now, is because there's no institutional money. This is all retail money, guys. And the retail man is tired right now because a lot of people lost money up. A lot of people lost money up here. They were all gambling that, oh yeah, there's going to be a new high. There's going to be a new high, guys. It's going to break through. It's going to break to the upside. Bang! We went straight down, and people lost money there. So now all of a sudden, people are sitting with their Bitcoin. They're not that comfortable with buying more at the minute because they don't have any more. Guys have. I mean, I'd even hate to even think about what people have done here to get into Bitcoin. And I always say this: put money in that you're prepared to lose, guys. Do your own research. Understand the market. Understand what your moving averages are for here, because this will give you a key when things do turn around. And you can even look at the charts. Once you have your moving averages, look at where we were in the bull run, and look at where we are now, and you'll see we're in two totally different markets. We're going to have a look and see what the volume happens here. If there's not enough volume, then again, we're going to have to go down. It's as simple as that. And I'm hoping that people are going to start putting their money into other coins, because that's where the money there should not have left those other coins to begin with. And we should have had this gradual sort of run up instead of that quick run up there, and everyone was getting excited. Everyone was getting overexcited in regards to, oh man, Bitcoin's going up, let's get in. And of course, the institutions just come in, or not necessarily the institutions, but the guys with the big bags. They're the ones making all the money. They're the ones making all the plays here, not the retail investors. Let's have a look. Sorry, Metal Bum here. He says, how about everyone on gold and silver? I was hoping to pick up more gold at 1450, and my silver price is between 15 and 1650 buying. I know, yeah. Did you buy any Metal Bum, did you buy any precious metals? Did you buy at the dip? Because man, silver had a whopper of a reduction. It went as low as 1654 before shooting back up. And we're currently lying at, okay, so we're starting to adjust back down. We're right on support, guys. Okay, we're at 1693 at the minute. $16.93. And then gold as well. Gold's at just below 1500. So, and again, we're just touching support there. So, well, we're not touching support. We're below the 50-day moving average. So just keep an eye on this. Personally, it'd be great to see silver actually, do what it did earlier on today. But we just need some consolidation, calm the markets down. But again, this is looking pretty good for those that actually bought in at 1654. Just in regards to your question for Bitcoin, I set a buy order at 10.8, or that's where my decision was to buy in. But I'm still not convinced this market. We would have had, if the bullish case was in play here, we would have had a drop down, and immediately we would have been pulled back up. We just had this drop, and that's the extent of the buying that we've seen. Is this little candle here, which then just means that the bullish case, the guys are tired. Again, so for me, I'll keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not going to watch it 24/7. I've been slowly withdrawing from Bitcoin right now because of this. I just don't see it there, and I'm not prepared to sit and watch it if there's nothing happening and the market's overinflated. So what I would like to see, I want to see us back down below 10K. I'm thinking maybe even 9,000. I think would be another good restart, because if you have a look on the daily here, guys, if you have a look there, we've hit that 9,000 a few times and we've bounced up. So when we're at this first level here, we're at 9.5. Although we had some sell off there, we were straight into buying zone here, straight up there. We were in buying there, we're buying there, and straight up. But again, it'll be a great buy at 8,000, guys. That's all I can say. If we're able to see that low, man, I'll be super happy. I would be super happy to get in at 8 grand if it even goes that low. But I'm watching it. I'm watching it like a hawk, man. But I don't see, based on what's happening there now. Just be careful there. Don't follow the easy money, because that's how you get suckered in. They suck you into these short little spikes, and then they sell off. They get the retail investors in. So just be careful there. Be cautious at the minute, and just wait. Choose a level that you're comfortable with at the end of the day, because some people might want to buy in. They say, look, I'll wait till it gets to 10.4. Then that's your decision. Buy at 10.4. But again, just keep an eye on it. If we can see a continual, whenever we've seen these ups, we've always nearly come down to the bottom. If you have a look there. So again, if we're going to come back down to the bottom, we might see ourselves down to 9.8, 9.7, in that sort of area there. Everyone has different ways of either accumulation, but I'm going to hold back for a bit for now. Anyway, I think I've talked enough about Bitcoin there. Metalbum says, unfortunately, I missed the dip. Okay, right. Well, look, just keep an eye on it. Look, we might see some action there. It'd be great to see us back up over 17. Silver at that price, lol. Dream on. That's Jody. I have my base, but what I want to get, I want to get more base, like higher 1,500 physical silver ounces than 15 ounces of physical gold. Man, 15 ounces of physical gold, Metalbum. He's smiling. Well, already we were testing 1,535. $1,535. So even if you buy gold at these prices now, which is around 1,500, more than likely we're going to be heading up back that way in the near future. However, again, just be cautious. When you invest money, you're prepared to lose, as like I've always said. Let's have a look. We got Metalbum again here. He says, okay, that's a hit. Says, I'm trying to buy up gold and silver in my retirement accounts too, and I hold about 25% of my accounts in those and some miners. Cool, awesome. He's got some mining stocks. That's great. Good afternoon, everyone. That's Graham Stacker. How you doing, Graham? It's good to see you. Lazy Lawrence says, is lawfully awesome. It's glad to have you here, Lazy Lawrence. Metal Bomb says, Jody, you think silver can't go down again? It's touched 17 many times over the past several years. It's volatile, then goes down to 14. Again, it depends on, but also take into consideration that there's a massive bullish case for precious metals now in regards to the world economy, interest rates, obviously China and America's situation currently at the minute. You've also got Hong Kong protest action, and you've got the Argentinian peso, which is taking a bit of a dump as well. So all of a sudden, there's five things. There's 5 cases for gold currently right there. So consider those options as news, are certainly in precious metals case positive. Graham, how is Graham Stacker doing today? Well, look, and then we're going to go on to let's look at a bit of news. I've got a bit of news there for us, so let's go and take a look at that. It's in relation to Bitcoin. There we go. It's posted when it was just at about 11. Again, it just says Bitcoin still up on the week after failing to hold 11,000. Tuesday, it says August 13th, it says Bitcoin falls under 11K mark again, as most of the top 20 cryptocurrencies are reporting moderate losses on the day by press time. Bitcoin's price currently down 3%, guys. But whenever we see these price swings, Bitcoin, sometimes we can go down as low as 500. Sometimes we've gone down. Man, I've seen days when we've dropped by 2 grand. So again, it's pretty much the norm once we're high, but you guys know how I feel right now in regards to Bitcoin. There's no need for me to go over it again. If you want to, you're welcome to check the replay and have a chat through there. Still multiple sources, including Cointelegraph's market information tools, report that Bitcoin's price is currently under 11,000, which obviously we know because we're looking at it. Bitcoin is currently trading under 11,000 on many exchanges, including BitMEX, Binance, OKEx, and Obi. As Toynko reported earlier today, former Goldman Sachs analyst turned Bitcoin maximalist Murad Mahmudov believes the top currency will hit 100,000. Yeah, exactly. When? Got to see lows, guys. We've got to see lows. At the time of the press, total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies is 287.5 billion. So again, we've fallen below the 300. That's about 6.47% lower than the value reported a week ago. After breaking 11,000, that was on August 4th. Bitcoin has spent most of the past week bouncing around the 11 to 12 range, briefly breaking into the 12s. Yeah, briefly. Yeah, and then before someone took a massive profit. And on August 6th, 7th, and 8th, before sudden $400 slip on the 10th. So again, there wasn't really much there in regards to it, guys. You know, if Bitcoin's going to 100K after steady accumulation, says Crypto Trader. Bitcoin sees 4% premium in Argentina as peso plummets 30%. That's what I was talking about with regards to the Argentina and peso. Metal Bum says, well, my feeling will hold between 16 and 17 for the next 6 months. I don't think it's going to be that long, Metal Bum. There's too much bullish news. There's too much of a bullish case. Graham Stacker says, doing good, Limey. Got a beautiful port skull from Silver Dragon. Wow, that sounds great, man. Awesome. Are you going to be doing a video on that, Graham Stacker? Metal Bump says, I'm not saying it's definite, but it's possible for silver to dump again. And if it dumps, I buy. If it continues up, I hold. There you go. That's the best way to do it, my man. I like it. I like it. Metal Bum's interesting way that he's looking at it, and I like it already. Right, let's take a look. Okay, let's look at this here. So Bitcoin's going to 100K after steady accumulation, says Crypto Trader. Right, so zoom out and think big. Right, serves as a chief information officer at cryptocurrency hedge fund Adaptive Capital. At first glance, it looks like there's a weak chop for the next week or so, but my institution tells me there is a steady accumulation happening at these levels. I mean, there certainly isn't enough volume, but okay. Don't try to outsmart yourself on the short time frames. Zoom out and think big. Hey, there's no doubt it's a when case for the 100K Bitcoin. Pair orange coin, I like that. It says Mahmudov analyzed the key support levels observed in the 200-day moving average and the exponential moving averages, RSI bands, relative strength index, weekly supports, all point to a 10-8. But you may get a wick at most given the order book support across exchanges. Isolating 10.8 as an emergency key support level, which I've said previously when I said I would probably get in at 10.8. We said that with the caveat that it's not porting to give financial advice. I'd be betting, man, it would be potentially a slowly adding at a key support. Sorry, I know that the words that have been used there just are not very good. To the sky, it says Mahmudov's eye-popping 100K forecast has been recently echoed by Morgan Creek's digital asset founder Anthony Popliano, who said is that the recent dovish turn by central banks will rocket fuel Bitcoin and help drive it to 100K by the end of 2021. This is July. Cointelegraph reports that United States-based regulated crypto derivatives and clearing platform Ledger X was giving retail investors the chance to bet on Bitcoin hitting 100K by 2020. At press time, Bitcoin is trading at between 11.2 and 11.3 range, fractionally down on the day, according to the Cointelegraph. So an interesting one there. Obviously, he's fairly optimistic that Bitcoin's going to reach 100K. He's saying that, according to him, the bottom is at 10.8. I'll keep an eye on the volume before I make any decision in regards to buying in at the 10.8 level. Obviously, I want to maximize. Obviously, I want to maximize my potential for the amount of Bitcoin I get. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the market. Let's have a look. Graham Stacker says, doing good, Limey. Got a beautiful... Okay, sorry, we went over that. I'm buying Bitcoin. There you go. There's the man there. He's saying he's buying Bitcoin at 8,000 to 9,000. If it ever hits that again, I'm not. If not, I'll hold. And that's pretty much the way I'm thinking, Metal Bum. If it gets to 8 to 9 grand, man, I'll be holding on to that stuff. Again, depending on volume as well. So I'll be keeping an eye on the volume. If the volume's still not there, then that's when it tends to get a bit hairy. Is that you need to just check the volume out and see if the volume maintains that price. If it doesn't, just be careful. Everything's relative, says Metal Bum. There we go, Metal Bum. He says, oops, I agree, Limey. Meant to say the base for silver, I think, is 16 to 17. Like, it won't go below that for a while, but it could, like if Trump and Z are on front cover of Wall Street Journal. Exactly. RPM, how you doing, RPM? Good to see you. So I think Trump lifting some sanctions on China may have lowered the markets. That's probably the expectation. I did go over some bit of news there. There we go. Jody Rhodes says the Fed plunge protection team buying. Let's check things out here. I'm with you on that one, Metal Bum, says Graham Stacker. Just bear with me a sec, guys. I've got... Right, yeah, so looking at it, let's have a look. So that was an interesting article there on Bitcoin. I'm going to close that one down. We'll have a look at, go back to silver quickly and take a look there. Right, okay, so we're still seeing some selling there, selling pressure. We are hitting our support level, so hopefully that support level can be maintained. It's looking like it might. 16.93. We're about 2 cents down on the hour. Palladium's the winner on the day, though, guys. Palladium is at 14.55. Again, it's seeing some nice green momentum, so we're going to keep an eye on that one. There we go. We're seeing green, we're seeing red. So hopefully now that the bears are exhausted, hopefully we can get some now up and movement, get ourselves back into the game here, try and get ourselves above 17 at least. It'd be great to see us there. If not 16.98, would be a good start for tomorrow. Let's take a look at the next screen. Okay, we're going to look at gold now. Gold is when it's just sitting on the 100-day moving average, so that's currently where the support line is at around 1500. I have to keep an eye on that, though. It looks precarious there. It's touch and go in regards to where it wants to be. It'd be great if gold finished on 1500 on the day, and then we can start again tomorrow and hopefully break out of this position. What was that there? Jody said, here, anyone bought cobalt? I didn't think cobalt was a thing these days. No, Jody, cobalt is cobalt's a good buy. All right, okay, that's interesting. Look at its uses. There's one who stored a couple of $1 million worth. Wow, okay, cobalt. Wasn't me, says Jody. And then we've also got Graham Stacker there. He says, saw Sullivan Mills video today about buying nickel. Did anyone catch it? I saw his thumbnail, but unfortunately I haven't actually watched it. He was said, yeah, this metal's on the up or something like that. So it's interesting that nickel. I wonder if central banks will stop using nickel, because now nickel could be worth more. Your face value of your nickels could be worth more. Although you might end up seeing people hoarding nickels now. That would be interesting. Right, so there's gold in front of us there. Definitely keeping an eye on that. It'd be great to see that finish on 1500. And let's take a look Oh, we didn't do Litecoin, guys. So let's take a look at Litecoin. And then we're going to look at the cryptocurrency market capitalization. So again, we're sort of trading sideways, which is really interesting. Is that Litecoin currently it had its halving there last week. Sorry, a couple of weeks back. It's sort of been seen as downtrend. I don't know if this. I mean, this certainly looks like we could see. We seem to be trading in this range here. So where are we? Is that 91 to 76, somewhere around there? Interesting to see, but I mean, considering Bitcoin's move, it hasn't really done much, which is great. So hopefully we can just keep the consolidation going, let it catch up to our moving averages, and then power on through. It certainly would be great to see higher levels here. I'd love to see Litecoin above 90 for starters. I've got a bag. I'm holding on to them. I think it's something to watch. I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Volume's not looking too bad either, considering its daily volume. So it's not looking too bad. Let's look at the hour on Litecoin. Okay, we're still in a bearish channel here, moving, according to that, moving down. I just want to see this here in the last few hours, just keep that sideways momentum, then it catch up to its moving averages. And as I said, there, power on through. So Litecoin currently priced at 84.44 per token. Let's have a look. Jody says Apple are looking to buy cobalt directly from the miners. Huge demand and long positive futures. Wow. Okay. What does cobalt look like in its form? Is it in bars? Do they? Is it in rock or some material? Is it in raw format? Just let me know there, Jody. I haven't never considered cobalt. It'd be certainly interesting to find out exactly how it's sold. I'm going to look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations. Just going to refresh. There we go. Some BTC dominance dropping, 68.2 now. Personally, that's going to drop down more. I think it'd be good to see it around the 64 mark, which is exactly where we were before, on our first move up. I think there's still too much more. There's too much alt money currently in Bitcoin. That's got to come down. We got 24-hour volume. It's up slightly to 49.6 billion. Again, that just could be the matter of selling and buying. Market capitalization is still low. We were at, I think it was at 293 earlier on, we're now at 286, so that's dropping. There's the outlook there. Bitcoin Cash, the only coin at the top 5 coin that's in the green, up 2.46%. There's Litecoin at number 5. Binance Coin catching up, man. Guys, I remember when Binance Coin was $6. Jeez, what a good buy that would have been. Bitcoin obviously showing up 10,905 here. Graham Stacker says he said there is a huge demand for nickel in batteries. Okay, that would make sense. Mimey, how much do you waste on Litecoin? Let's just say I wouldn't say waste. I never say waste. I would never say waste. But I do have a bag of Litecoin. Thing is, the bullish potential for Litecoin moving up is that it's really good value in relation to Bitcoin. It's also 4-to-1, guys. Let's not forget that. So it's 84 million will be ever produced for Litecoin. It's already had its halving as well, so the halving's in place, which means they halve the supply. So for me, on a future outlook, I think it's really good. It's a really good price. But again, I'm just keeping an eye on the prices. I don't like to lose money. However, I think we should start to see an upward trend momentum in the near future. I just can't say when until we're out of this mess currently at the minute. Jody Rhodes says, Rhodes, it's hard to find a supplier. Only one firm online I could find. Wow, okay. Jody having a good laugh. The old Graham Stackers of Jody. You say invest, I say throw away, says Jody. Well, like you see, the way I see it is I can still get money out. When you throw away something, it doesn't come back to you. At least when you invest, you're still going to get something back regardless. But you know, when you throw something away, it doesn't. You don't get it back. You get nothing. Let's take a look here. So yeah, coin market capitalization. So again, I want to see that come down. BTC. I'm going to be watching the volume. Don't forget, guys, our first run up, we were hitting over $100 billion in volume per day. And I remember our market cap dropping down to 99 billion before we started to see that potential run up the first time. So does that mean we have to wait until we drop down to 99 again to start to see another run up? Who knows? All I know is that's what I saw. That's what I remember. I remember seeing the higher volume, at least double the amount of volume. And man, it was great. It was great to buy in because the moment you bought in, the price was just going up. You didn't have to buy in now, and like we're sitting in this position now where you buy and you're constantly waiting. It's going to move up. Is it going to move down? You know, it was in a good bullish market. Anyway, let's take a look. I also remember the amount of altcoins that we had. Geez, the cryptocurrencies. There was 1,993 when I first started getting involved in cryptocurrency. It's now 2,443. That's a massive amount, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to go into much more of these. Monero has lost a bit of value. That's interesting. It was looking pretty high there, about $92. It's now dropped back down to 85. So I wonder if some people took a bath. It was tracking Bitcoin quite well, but obviously Bitcoin's dropped now, so Monero's dropped. Chainlink is up 2%. It's tight to make money in cryptocurrency at the moment. Let's have a look. If anyone wants to invest money with me, you'll get something back. And that's Jody saying sorry. Again, just to thank everyone, all my listeners, thank you very much for listening. And my viewers as well who are currently watching, thank you very much as well for taking the time out of your day. Jody says, if anyone wants to invest money with me, you'll get something back. Sorry, sorry, like me. Anyway, let me know about Cobalt, man. I was asking about Cobalt. How is it transported, or is it put into bars? Is it in discs, or is it in raw form? Jody, let me know there when you get a chance. 10,895. See this. I'm not going to go into it because I've already discussed that. Let's have a look. How is silver doing? Gold. They're sort of steady, guys. We're not really going to see much more action in regards to precious metals for the afternoon. Let's go and have a look at silver again. Right on that support level, guys. And there's our next level of support. If we break through that, that is our next level of support there at 1687, 1690, something like that. So it's definitely a bite on the hands in regards to the bulls and the bears there. Jody says, LME official prices, US per ton, $30,000 per ton. Wow. Okay, geez. Metal Bum says thanks. I wonder if Metal Bum's going to go and buy some now. Cobalt with a minimum of 99.8% purity, as specified by producers of each brand in the LME approved list. Shaped cathodes, broken or cut ingots, briquettes, rounds, coarse grain powder. Wow, okay, so it comes in all kinds of shapes and forms. Well, thanks very much for clearing that up. He says ingots, briquettes, rounds, so obviously like chunks. That would be, just in case those don't know what briquettes are. You've got rounds and coarse grain powder. Oh, okay. There's Graham as well. He's like me. He says, wow, I had no idea there were that many different cryptos.
That's probably in relation to, yeah, there's over 2,000 cryptocurrencies out there, ridiculous amount. However, probably only 95% of those will probably fail. That is the big thing about this. So, you know, that's why I tend to only look at the top 5 cryptocurrencies, because they're probably the safest ones to consider getting into. However, obviously do your own research in regards to that and see which one works for you. Metal Bump says, I'm actually interested in buying Chinese mainland stock, shares for a long run. If it dumps hard, then I'll probably pick up more. There you go. Jeez, Metal Bump, you're certainly well clued up there, buddy. Jody Rhodes says, Limeys bought most of them. No, I haven't. I have not. There's shares which in the mainland of China exposure. Then there's 8 shares which are more like Hong Kong. Excuse me. So we got up to 9 watching, guys. In case of silver, we're getting a bit of green forming there. 16.95. Jeepers. They're really trying to keep silver in a tight range. The problem now is we're sitting with resistance right here, and that is 16.99. This is now resistance, no longer support like we've had previously. So now we need to get above this, clear our 20-day moving average, and get back into a bullish cycle. So hard work ahead for silver. Metal Bum says, I'm thinking is a long run in China's to strong growth, like 5 to 20 years. So if I can buy Chinese ETFs now, I'd like to. There you go. He's thinking way ahead of himself there. Awesome. Metal Bum says, I think it will do better than the S&P in 5 to 20 years. Wow, that's some adjustment there, man. There we go. Silver's currently at 16.96, guys. So it's holding in there. Just needs to hold. Gold's at 1,500. Platinum's at $854. And Palladium is at 1,455. Man, it's like Palladium's on the charge since it hit its low. Its low on the day was 14.17. I'd say that's some move. Bitcoin currently at 10,900. So there's a couple of green candles here. The low was 10,748. However, I will not be fooled there. I'll rather wait for confirmation before getting in. I did say 10.8. That is technically the 10.8 mark. In fact, it even hit lower. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it first before I see any movements. This is not enough volume. Let's have a look. Jody says, problem with China is their data is made up of nonsense. They clearly don't have the proper auditors there, by the sounds of things. Metal Bump says, "Man, I want to buy more American Silver Eagles, but too expensive." Yeah, how much is an American Silver Eagle now? Metal Bump. What are they? What are they going for? American Silver Eagle. I need to check my local guy as well, because we tend to be plus 3.5, and that's €3.50. That's about $4. Whatever spot is. Spot plus it's at 350, so it's probably around 15. It's probably around 18.50, €18.50 for one ASE here, I suspect. I might just go and take a quick squeeze actually while I've got the screen up, and then I confirm with you guys. American Silver Eagles. Yeah, just checking those out now for you. American Silver Eagle 2019. There you go. It wasn't a bad guess. €19 for one. And if you want a 2018, it's almost €21 for one. and that's apparently on sale. Jeez. Yeah, so I can see what you mean by expensive. Cheapest I see is $19. There you go. That's Metal Bomb. And that's Silver Streak, man. How you doing, Silver Streak? Good to see you. Just saying hello to everybody there. We're just about to come to an end here. Unfortunately, Silver Streak. Next time I'm going to try and get on a bit earlier. It just depends on how full my day is, but I'll certainly try and get on early for everybody. I think the ideal time is around 5 o'clock, thereabouts. So I would like to try and get on a little bit earlier next time, but we'll just have to see how my day looks. Otherwise, it might be later, one of the two. Okay, so silver is currently priced at $16.96. We've got gold at $1,501 an ounce. We've got platinum at $855, and then we've got palladium at $1,455 an ounce. We've got Bitcoin at 10,907, pretty much stuck at that range currently at the minute. And then we've also got Litecoin, Litecoin at 84.11 US dollars. Nice. Let's have a look. So we've got 11 watching. So guys, really thank you very much for watching today's episode. You're welcome to check the oh, it looks like Oxy88 just dropped in as well. Yeah, Metal Bum, he's put a comment in there. He says the only reason I like ASC is that here in the US they're so liquid and you can sell for $2 over spot fairly easily. Well, that's pretty cool. So it'd be great then if you buy it at 19 and spot gets up to 19, and that means you can pretty much sell it for 21 and make $2 then if you have to. Probably a pretty good move. Silver Streak says, "Oh, I just got in from town." Silver Limey 79. Awesome. How was town? Sorry, Oxy88 says, "How's it going, Limey?" A pretty good day today, actually. Very productive. We took the family out. We had a great time this afternoon. Just got back here after 6. So yeah, the weather was okay. I hope everything's all right with yourself, Oxy. Metal Bum says LSE pay about spot for regular silvers, or maybe $1. Wow, okay. For Canada or Britannia's. Cheapest. And then Cool Feature Limey. That's Oxy88. I presume he means the comments popping up there. Thanks very much. I like it too. At least I can show you guys off instead of just shouting you guys out. Metal Bum says, I've got to say that's impressive that silver gold can bounce back so fast, like you said, Limey. Yeah, it certainly is, man. Once it goes low enough, man, the smart money comes in, just cashes in straight away. But, hopefully we should have some news tomorrow in regards to how much was essentially dumped yet today. So I'm going to try and find that out for tomorrow's episode in regards to what sort of ETF transactions were made. Hopefully we should be able to find that out. Silver Streak saying it's hot in town, so it's going to be it's a warm day there by the sounds of it. Yeah, it's fairly cool here. But guys, I just want to thank you again. Thanks so very much for joining me on today's live stream. I hope you found it informative in regards to the charts I put out there. I'll try and get on a little bit earlier tomorrow. Silver Stanger, man, how you doing, Silver Stanger? Great to see you, buddy. Interesting day for silver today, man, wasn't it? Silver and gold and platinum both had the same swing. We went up to highs, and then there was an immediate sell-off, substantial sell-off, and then we've recovered some. And silver not looking too bad, $16.96. Gold is at $1,501, and platinum is $855. But guys, thanks very much for your time. I'll see you all on tomorrow's episode. Hopefully we'll be in a much stronger position at the start of the day, and hopefully we'll have some great news for the afternoon show. So again, thank you all very much for joining me on today's video. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow. Well, thanks. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Just a couple of shout outs here. So we got Oxy88. Oh, there's a comment here. Let me just read that out. It says, recession bound. What would happen if house prices drop? Would that affect the homeowners that have to take out equity on the property? Well, I tell you what, if negative interest rates come in, man, people are going to be making money. And banks will be paying them to take money out. Jody Rhodes says, yeah, repo time, repossession time. So I think I'd certainly hold off buying a place right now. Rather wait for a negative interest rates and, you know, get the banks to pay you. Not the first time, says Oxy88. You're right about that, my man. Thank you, sir, says Metal Bum. And then Silver Streak there says, take care, Silver Limey. Thumbs up, people. That's Metal Bum. Really appreciate it. And Jody as well. Thanks very much for that, Jody. And Metal Bum as well. Thank you very much. Only a few of my mods dropped in. So again, special thanks there to Metal Bum for sticking through. Really appreciate it, guys, as usual. And sorry, just some shout outs here. So we have Metal Bum, Oxy88, Silver Streak, Jody Rhodes, Silver Stanger, Metal Bum, Graham Stacker, and one more, RPM Limited. Guys, until tomorrow, have a fantastic afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Could even be morning. That's depending on where you are in the world. And I'll see you all on the next one. Take care, everybody. See you next time.